The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons and Other Related Matters, NAPTIP, is established by the federal government of Nigeria on the 14th of July 2003 with the mandate of curtailing all forms of human trafficking and degradation through the use of Nation Crime Coordinated Prevention Law. According to the fact sheet by the agency, NAPTIP has 6 mandates in fighting trafficking in Nigeria. These include prevention, protection, partnership, prosecution, victim rescue and rehabilitation. Kano Zonal Office is among the 9 zonal offices established in different parts of the country to oversee the activities of human traffickers, degradation and child labor. According to the report of Kano Command of Nigeria Police indicates that child molestation in the state is increasing on the alarm rate. NAPTIP as an agency established to curtail the menace of child abuse, trafficking and molestation is not doing enough. According to our findings, the agency has inadequate staff to carry out its mandate in 5 states domiciled within the zone as required by the law. This can advertently affect the fundamental rights of victims as well as the defendant in ensuring justice is served among all parties. A source within the agency has confirmed to me that the agency has only one lawyer who prosecutes all the cases emanating from 5 states under the zone. It is practically impossible to ensure the implementation of justice. Barrister Shaban Ibrahim Dala is a legal practitioner in Kano. He said an NAPTIP in Kano zone has only one lawyer who prosecutes all cases of the 5 states. This, according to him, made court to adjourn cases at the instances of the NAPTIP Prosecuting Council, and that can result serious violation of both parties' rights.
The fact that NAPTIP Kano zonal office is covering Kano, Jigawa, Bauchi, Katsina and Kaduna, which to based on my understanding, it is almost difficult or even impossible for Kano Command to cover Kaduna and Bauchi, then Katsina, Jigawa, then Kano itself. It's almost impossible for NAPTIP to cover these zones. Even Kano zone alone, Kano zone, based on personnel that NAPTIP zonal command have here in Kano, even the Kano command itself, Kano state itself, they can't cover it. Take us of Majin, Jigawa, Katsina, Kaduna and Bauchi, which is almost impossible for them to cover and to do the proper job and all that. Then sometimes we are having some certain delays in our cases in court, not only because of the we used to adjourn cases not because the judges or the courts intend to adjourn the matter, no, because at the instant of the prosecutor. Why? Because it is the only prosecutor here in Kano. It's the only prosecutor that covers Kano, Jigawa, Katsina and Bauchi. So how can you expect him, while he has case maybe in the Federal High Court, Katsina or Kaduna, then he has a matter here in Kano? Even in Kano, we have 3 courtrooms. There was a time he has a case in Court 1 and has a case in Court 2 again. Court case in Court 2 again. So how can he divide himself? So he has to drop one. The one he dropped is my case that he dropped to attend the case in Court 1. I wonder if we take another date. So he's really trying. He found it very difficult for him. And I have an experience of such kind of events that he has a case. We have a case with him here in Kano. Just recently, last 3 months, we are watching for him. Later on we discovered that he went to Kaduna to attend another matter. He's the only prosecutor, which is not even possible for him to cover such kind of cases. So based on this, I will learn that lack of human personalities to handle the cases also create a problem to NAPTIP and administering the law. And
Comrade Harun Ayagi is the State Director of National Coordinator of Human Rights Network of Nigeria. He said inadequate of staff is affecting Kano Zonal Office of NAPTIP to conduct its duty effectively in the discharge of its statutory duties.
One boy, which is 13 to 14 years old, his leg being cutted in the result of the machines, the grinding machine. The machine tried to turn the boy down. Quickly we narrated a the NAPTIP about the issue. So the NAPTIP come in, try to intervene in order to get the right to access justice to the right of the boy. In the result of shortage of the staff, instead to do it within a week, it will take them almost 1 to 3 months to finish the cases. Even the case at the end, it will not be finished. We will hope the NAPTIP to handle the case, but in the result of the delay in the NAPTIP, we will return back the case to the State Higher Court. A shortage of the staff in general, because the staff that will be handle the issue, sometimes he can handle another problems within the NAPTIP. So not only 1 or 2, 3 cases be handling in quick action, but he has many cases on his hands. So if the new case come in, it will be difficult for him to handle it since it's another cases. So in the shortage manpower, it will cause the problem. The case not to be solved within the NAPTIP, we take it back to the State Higher Court instead of the Federal High Court, because our wish is, if the child be violating the right of the child be violating, we as a human rights network, our wish is to take the issue to the NAPTIP, because NAPTIP is dealing with the Federal Higher Court and the other agencies it deal with the state. So our wish to take it to the NAPTIP, but in the result of these problems the NAPTIP is facing. So sometimes the people from the grassroots, they don't have interest to go direct to the NAPTIP office. Even they come to us, and we too, we don't have interest to take the issue direct to the NAPTIP because of the problem I have mentioned before. So that is why we are considering.
Barrister Shaban Ibrahim also alleged that NAPTIP usually detained a suspect in their facility exceeding the time provided by the law to file a charge in court. He alleged that his client was detained for more than 20 days. This, according to him, violates Section 36/5 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended.
Based on experience, I will understand that NAPTIP used to be a contravention of right of the accused person during investigation, particularly considering the fact that the times they were spending during the investigation before filing a proper charge before a competent court of law. Sometimes it would take some little bit time before they prosecute an accused person to the court. They were staying longer than necessary as stipulated by the law. I had a case which I personally handled. The defendant spent almost 20 days in their custody before they filed a charge. 20 days. Once I go for the administrative bail, they will say that they will give us an administrative, but they put a very strict condition in which we cannot meet. We said, see, since we can't meet the condition, file a charges. Let us go to court. They said they were still on investigation. They were taking, sometimes they used to take so long time for investigation, sincerely speaking. So only the dependents, they were suffering.
Comrade Haruna Ayagi also alleged that public have started losing confidence of filing report at the office of NAPTIP because of the protocol one has to observe. He said this can cause delay in dispensing justice.
When you go direct there, the protocol action, filling the form, whatever, cause the provoking the family of the victim to return back instead to lodge the complaint. It can cause the violating the right of the victim, because there's a time somebody called me from Taroni. They are close to the office of the NAPTIP. I told him that instead to come to our office to lodge a complaint, the man called me and told me that there's some boy being violating his right, rape. So he tried to go there. Through phone we are communicating. After the time he reached the office. So instead of to allow him, he go with the victim and the family are around at outside the gate of the NAPTIP, the zonal office, instead to allow him to go to soft the protocol, to go there in order to lodge the complaint, because the victim is in another condition. They refuse to. They say they must follow the due process, even though the victim. So in the result of this, the man calling me, I say he can do anything here because the way they are handling him as like he is a criminal.
Counsel also alleged that his client was harassed by the official of NAPTIP. He said that contravened Section 8, Sub A and B of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, the year 2015, which stipulates that a suspect should be treated human with dignity.
We experienced that based on the interview we did with our client, we understand that there are some certain harassment by some, not all, some of the staff investigators from the NAPTIP. They were harassing the accused person or dependent, which is totally against the provision of the law. This harassment will lead to torture, which will lead to compelling the accused person to write or to say what they are not even in their mind. That is it. And I have some experience after the introducing the new criminal administration of criminal justice. I had one case with them in which the confession statement of the accused person or dependent were taken in our absence, in which we totally objected to that. If we allow, they will proceed and allow the matter to go like this. All this is a part of harassment, because there is. I had an experience. I have a client in which she personally told me that she will only regain freedom or some certain happiness when I was there in the NAPTIP interviewing her, discussing with her. That is why whenever I went to her place to see her, she was insisting that I should stay. If she needs anything, she would tell me, or she would request it in my presence, because she knows that once she requested it in my presence, they will rush and do it, because they cannot deny it in my presence as her lawyer. Then that is another angle. Then secondly,
Ibrahim Garba Mariam is the public commentator and human rights activist. He alleged that nothing was done by NAPTIP after he reported a case of child labor.
We experienced that based on the interview we did with our client, we understand that there are some certain harassment by some, not all, some of the staff investigators from the NAPTIP. They were harassing the accused person or dependent, which is totally against the provision of the law. This harassment will lead to torture, which will lead to compelling the accused person to write or to say what they are not even in their mind. That is it. And I have some experience after the introducing the new criminal administration of criminal justice. I had one case with them in which the confession statement of the accused person or dependent were taken in our absence, in which we totally objected to that. If we allow, they will proceed and allow the matter to go like this. All this is a part of harassment, because there is. I had an experience. I have a client in which she personally told me that she will only regain freedom or some certain happiness when I was there in the NAPTIP interviewing her, discussing with her. That is why whenever I went to her place to see her, she was insisting that I should stay. If she needs anything, she would tell me, or she would request it in my presence, because she knows that once she requested it in my presence, they will rush and do it, because they cannot deny it in my presence as her lawyer. Then that is another angle. Then secondly, I learned that there are issue of
Ibrahim Mariam also alleged that NAPTIP in Kano paid much attention in trafficking cases and abandoned cases of child labor and abuse. He cited example of Almajiri or street begging by children under the age of 10.
In the early last year, 2018, somebody called me as a civil society reporting that there's one lady who is trafficking young girls, like house help girls. So I had to go and see the house that we organized with NAPTIP. Went to Mohammed was that was our meeting point where I will be able to hand over the girl to the person, because the initial person who was supposed to use that girl as a house help, she found out the girl, she was very young. So when we handed over the case to the NAPTIP, we were expecting to see the feedback. I've been there 2 or 3 times. There was no any response to even to give me information what is the situation for us to be able to keep our records straight. So one day I just went to somewhere. I saw that lady told me that Ibrahim, I've seen that woman who has been trafficking girl. She has already been discharged and everything. You see, this is the kind of situation that we are. It's a challenge for we, the civil society, and we are advocating for justice in Kano. The riot has been tarnished, because that will not stop them from still doing the child trafficking labor. Because when the person doing that thing is being well punished, tomorrow he will not be able to be on the street and repeat the same act, and it will show as a deterrent to others.
Responding to the allegations raised, the zonal commander of the agency in Kano, Alhaji Shehu Umar, said the agency is doing its best in curtailing all forms of trafficking in person and child abuse. Pointed out that the agency is facing with the challenges of lack of funds which affect its performance.
The challenges are enormous. One, we have problems of funding. Funding is one of our challenges. We also have a problem of logistics problem. It involves operational vehicles and so many things are lacking. Well, my appeal would be to maybe the management over there that operational activities cannot be done without adequate funding. We need resources. And Kano, our operation doesn't stop in Kano. We are to cover Jigawa, Kaduna, Katsina as well. If we have adequate fund, what we achieved so far, I think we will double it.
Also speaking, the head of public enlightenment unit of the zone, Aliyu Abba Kalli, dispelled the allegation that officials of NAPTIP harassed suspects. Also speaking, a former zonal commander of the agency in Kano, Muhammad Alimashi, described coordination as a way forward to enhance duty of NAPTIP and regain its confidence.
Proper investigations, collations, and the articulating of exhibits and evidences are very, very important.
To this end, the effective implementation of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act will be hampered if the case of fundamental right violation continues to occur in Nigeria. Mustafa Gambo Muhammad reporting.